I just wanted to do this as a video, and the video we will be reacting to unusual people with shocking genetic mutations. They kind of sound like, I don't know, people with 2 heads, 4 feet, maybe. I don't know. Probably not 2 heads because that's actually more common than most of these, probably, but who knows.
What if we told you that there's someone out there with 2 heads or a young man with a 13-inch tail? Well, these are only a few results of the genetic mutations that have affected humans over the last few decades. In today's video, get ready to take a deep dive into some of the most shocking genetic mutations in recent history. Before we dive into this list, make sure to leave a like on this video. Also, if you would like to join this month's Star 5 giveaway of a brand new PlayStation 5, then all you have to do is subscribe to our channel and watch this video until the end to find and comment the hidden message. Good luck! At number 10, Shiloh Pepin. For a condition that is considered fatal in newborns, Shiloh Pepin was one young lady that defied the odds and stayed way longer than just the few hours that doctors had initially predicted. She was born with cyanomelia, a rare congenital disorder that led to legs being fused together. So it's not surprising that this condition is also known as the mermaid syndrome, since her fused limbs take the shape of the dorsal fin in fish. However, this disorder in her lower spine meant that Shiloh had to live a significant part of her life in the hospital. Due to this condition, most of her organs, including the kidneys, didn't form completely, so she had to get her first kidney transplant at the young age of 2, and then more than 100 surgeries within the first 7 years of her life. Although Shiloh finally passed away at the age of 10 due to complications from pneumonia, she is only one of 3 people known to have survived the mermaid syndrome beyond a few days after birth. At number 9, Joseph Merrick. Joseph looks nothing like the typical person you would see walking down the street. In fact, he gets more than a passing glance from most people due to his strange appearance. Joseph suffered from Proteus syndrome, which is a genetic mutation that severely altered his appearance. This is the major reason why he was known as the Elephant Man. Due to this rare genetic condition, Joseph had bones, skin, and several tissue that had grown abnormally. This means that instead of the regular shape of various parts of the body like our heads, arms, and legs, his body parts had grown rapidly and in different proportions. Due to the mutation of the AKT1 gene responsible for cell growth, Joseph had a really large and disfigured head with other body parts abnormally large as well.
Wow.
At number 8, Chandra Orion. What you're looking at is a tail on a human being. You may be wondering, how's that possible? Well, we all know how animals have tails that serve different purposes. Our furry friends wag their tails to show extreme emotions like happiness and sometimes to communicate with each other. For kangaroos, the tails are perfect for balancing their body. However, what many people don't know is that we have a tailbone as well, but it's known as a vestigial structure because it has no known purpose. But through genetic mutation, some people end up being born with a tail, and a good example is Chandra Orion. He's an Indian tea estate worker who is famous for his 13-inch tail. In his region in India, Chandra is seen as an incarnation of Hanuman, a Hindu god, and he doesn't mind being worshipped by people who travel from far areas just to touch his tail. This is the major reason why he has refused to cut his tail, which is a result of a congenital malformation called spinal bifida. At number 7, Didi Kaswara. Have you ever heard of the tree man? Well, that's none other than Didi Kaswara, an Indonesian man who has skin that is strangely similar to tree bark. This extremely rare skin disorder stopped him from living a normal life, as almost no one would want to relate with a walking tree. Didi experienced scaly warts and macules on his skin, which is obviously different from the soft and supple skin that is common with humans. This was caused by a genetic mutation that made him more susceptible to human papillomaviruses. So the result was to have tree-like skin. And unfortunately, there's absolutely no cure for this condition. Dee Dee couldn't live like the average human because even walking was a challenge with warts as heavy as 13 pounds. The Tree Man became so popular that he was featured in several documentaries, including one on TLC. Eventually, Dee Dee had complications from this condition that claimed his life at 42. At number 6, Kelly Fido White. Kelly Fido White looks just like any other lady from the Greater Manchester area and would typically have been able to go about her life without hesitation. However, she suffers from fish odor syndrome, which is a result of the release of trimethylamine through sweat, expired air, and urine. The painful result of this is that Kelly emits a strong odor of rotten fish or onions, which makes it super difficult for her to interact with others. This becomes even weirder when you realize that the sufferer can't perceive the odor herself, but gets to see the reaction from others who can't stand the pungent smell. Therefore, she's had to live her entire life in anxiety due to this metabolic condition. Although she works as a radiographer, Kelly got so many complaints about the odor that she had to move completely to night shifts, which significantly reduced the number of people that she can get in contact with. Unfortunately, this condition, also known as trimethylaminuria, is not known to be curable. However, Kelly tries as much as she can to manage it by taking activated charcoal at least once a day, which helps in cleaning out her digestive system. At number 5, Nadia Lauricella. Out of all the rare birth defects that exist in today's world, one of the rarest ever is a condition known as phocomelia syndrome. Children born with this severe birth defect have several of their appendages and limbs short, and may also not have fingers or they're fused together. When Nadia was born more than 2 decades ago in Italy, fate had handed her a completely different life as she was born with this extremely rare condition. Due to phocomelia syndrome, Nadia was born without arms and with just some parts of her leg missing. She also had a curved spine. Just like many others born with this condition, the doctors didn't believe that she could live that long. However, this young woman is living life to the fullest, with more than 52,000 people following her official Instagram account. At number 4, Wang Fang. Wang Fang lives in China with a rare condition where the foot on her left leg grew backwards. Of course, this has made walking around really difficult for her compared to someone with both feet facing forwards. However, that's not stopped her from living a life as normal as possible. Still, doctors are not sure about the exact cause of this condition, but it's one genetic mutation that has certainly gotten her a lot of attention. At number 3, Tress Johnson. Have you ever seen anyone with 2 faces? Well, they exist, and one of them is a young man in Missouri known as Tress Johnson. Tress was born with an abnormally shaped head alongside 2 separate nostrils and a large cleft lip. However, it wasn't just the fact that his head was abnormally shaped, but he actually had 2 faces. This condition, which is known as craniofacial duplication, is an extremely rare disorder caused by the Sonic the Hedgehog gene. And no, we have no idea why they decided to name this condition after this famous character. What we do know is that despite the doctor saying that he wouldn't survive so long after his birth, Tress celebrated his 13th birthday in 2017. At number 2, Liang Zhizuen. On what was supposed to be a regular day for Liang Zhizuen, this woman who lives in Sichuan province in China discovered that she had a mole growing on her head. This growth itched her all the time, and that she became quite uncomfortable, so she decided to seek Chinese traditional medicine to cure it. However, when there was little to no difference, she decided to let it be. So it was with shock that Liang realized that she had a horn growing out of her forehead. Even doctors were surprised at this abnormal horn-like growth, which had been growing consistently for about 8 years. It was later discovered that she suffered from cornucutaneum, which is a form of a skin tumor. Although it broke off after some years, the horn continues to grow on her forehead. And at number 1, Devendra Suthar. Say hello to Maximum Fingers Man. Devendra Suthar lives in Western India, where he tries to fit into shoes with 7 toes on each foot and handle equipment with 7 fingers on each hand as well. This man was born with polydactyly, which is a condition that occurs during the 6th or 7th week of pregnancy when the baby forms more fingers and toes than normal. This genetic disorder is so rare that Devendra made it into the Guinness Book of Records as a living man with the highest numbers of fingers and toes. And with that, we end today's video.
Okay, then. So that would be it for the video. If you guys are new to the channel, please subscribe and don't forget to do that. And I guess I will see you guys on next time. Goodbye.